Right, coming back to the workbench, and what is next on the schedule? Well, I'm continuing with my Commando Dagger model. Originally this was 3D printed. I did this a while ago, but rather unfortunately I had a mishap with it and broke it rather badly in several places. It snapped, I dropped it stupidly. But as you can see, and I'm pretty pleased about this, I've done a reasonable job at doing the repairs, and you can't really tell. I mean, it was really badly snapped, but I seem to have done a reasonable job. The other thing I've done is I've gone for this sort of, it was supposed to be matte, but it's kind of come out a little bit more like satin, black base coat. Now, originally I'd done this dagger as silver and brass to replicate one of the particular models of the Fairburn Skykes dagger. But I decided, particularly because I wanted to hide any vestiges of the breaks, I decided to go with the flat black look instead, which was common amongst these particular daggers. And I must admit, it is turned out quite smashing. I'm really quite pleased with this. And so the next thing I have to do is, I was thinking of doing some weathering just to make it look a little bit more real, make the blade a little bit more metallic. I'll probably use the usual charcoal powder technique for doing that, and some chrome or silver paint just to do some flecks to look as if it's scratched a little bit, and also highlight the edges as well with silver, and maybe some, scratches, just to make it look as if the metal is showing through. And that'll be it, really. So I'm really quite pleased about this. I tell you what, it's a damn big thing, really. Well, I'm not sure really what I expected. I've heard stories that these Commando daggers vary in length, and some of them can be pretty damn long. But even in this particular form, it's pretty long. It's a pretty horrific looking thing, really. Of course, it was not a fighting knife. This is one of the misconceptions. In fact, it turns up in a movie. I forget which movie it is, but it's an American war movie, and the American, I can't remember the name of the actor, but I think was it the movie about the US Rangers, I think, and they're looking at adopting a combat knife, and the guy sat at a desk and he's looking at the various options available to him, and he looks at this, and does he stick it in a drawer and snap it or something? I can't remember. And then, discards it, saying, "Oh, it's too flimsy for a fighting knife." Well, that's because the Fairburn Skykes was not a fighting knife, of course. It was an assassination weapon. It was a stiletto, a dagger, intended for a quick kill. Quite a nasty piece. And of course, the British commandos that used this were trained on the particular ways in which to use this. But it was not, and was never intended to be a fighting knife. This particular format of blade, the stiletto, is not suitable for fighting, really. The cutting and slashing kind of fighting, knife fighting. That was better suited to the knife that the American Special Forces eventually did adopt, which was the Bowie type. Was it K-bar? Someone will have to put me right on that one, but that is a fighting knife, intended on cutting and slashing, and also as a utility knife for cutting as well. This, of course, was not intended for that. So, after that very long preamble, we'll get down to what I was really wanting to talk about today. We're getting to the stage now where I have to think about how I'm going to display this. Now, originally, my idea was to get some sort of display stand that held a knife like this, sort of horizontally, with a couple of prongs, perhaps like this, holding it. And yeah, I kind of went off that idea. And then I saw something online, and I thought, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to frame mount this like this. Sorry, I'll have to get a little bit out of camera shot here to show you what I'm going to do. So if you can imagine this lying on kind of a picture frame thing. And what I actually bought, I went onto eBay and I bought this, the Commando pouch. And I don't know if you remember, like me, the old comics from the night. Well, they're actually still around, called Commando, and this is reminiscent of that. And how I'm going to mount it is like kind of like this. Sorry, I'm squishing this up because I'm trying to get everything in frame, but of course I can't because the knife's too long. But that's how I'm going to do it, and of course it'll be framed like this. I'm thinking of putting it on, mounting it on like a green baize background, and then a nice wooden frame and under glass, and then I can mount this on a wall. Sorry, you're probably not getting the full kind of like sense of this, so it'll be like that. I was even thinking of maybe putting like a little label down here, so a Fairburn Skykes Commando knife from, you know, in the period. But there you go. So that's how I'm going on with this. It's a bit of a one-trick pony. Is this week's What's on the Workbench episode? But to be honest, the jobs, I've just finished one of my big jobs, and I'm in between finishing and starting jobs, and this is the only one that's kind of like ongoing at the moment, so hence the fact that we're not really got much to show you at the moment. Cheers.